My name is Gary McEwen, high school practice leader for the Leader in Me. We're extremely excited to be launching our very first teen leadership series entitled QuaranTEENed. Today's topic, leadership is a choice. Let's turn over to our guest speaker, Hannah Wagner.
Hey y'all. So today we're gonna talk about about leadership being a choice. So one of our questions is what's a characteristic of a good leader?
Well, I would just like to say, like, with our title today being leadership is a choice, I think really just trying to be a leader in all circumstances and making that your number one priority in a way, that's one of the characteristics.
I think for me, I'm very big on the whole like lead by example type of thing. I feel like if you're a leader, it's very easy to say one thing and live a different lifestyle. So if you're truly like being a leader by choice, you have to choose to live that lifestyle and practice what you preach.
I think one important characteristic is kind of how you influence others. So whether that's positive or negative, I mean, you can be a good leader or a bad leader, but depending on how you influence those for the better or the worse, that's one characteristic of a leader. It's very important.
I know that for me, I think this was actually something Mr. McGuey told us once, but like Stephen Covey, I think he once said something like, leadership is communicating one's own worth and potential so clearly that they are inspired to see it in themselves. And so I really connect with what both Abby and Dylan were saying. I think leadership comes back to empowering others and kind of inspiring others and motivating them to be their greatest. I don't think it's all about us as a leader. I think it's about the way you impact others.
Agreed. And another thing that I think makes a great leader is being a really good listener, being able to communicate and listen to, the people that you're trying to lead and just also people around you so that they can look at you as a leader and think of you as a leader.
I definitely think like with leadership being a choice, you have to be very courageous to like take on that job. So do y'all think anyone can be a leader?
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of the time people think that when you're a leader, when you're given a certain position, like if you're a captain of the basketball team or blah, 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 but really leaders are everywhere, and it's better for there to be more like among a population than just for one person to be a leader. So I think it's important as a leader to give space for other leaders to help you and to be around you and to also help build the whole team up.
I know that something that I really think about when I really think about leadership is I do honestly believe that anybody really can be a leader. Because like we said at the very beginning, it's not a title, it's a choice. It's not about rankings. It's not about money. It's not about wealth or fame. All those material things are products of your character, and they're products of being a good leader because of something different. And so I think that's what is really important. And everybody has like that one thing about them or that characteristic that they can use to exhibit positive leadership in other people's lives.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, just at the base of it all, everyone has the potential to be a good leader. It's just what you do to make yourself that person. So if you want to be a good listener, if you want to communicate and you want to be trustworthy, then you're a good leader. That's what makes you a leader. And everyone has that instilled in them from the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's important to point out that I feel like a lot of times leadership has that connotation of you have to be able to speak in front of people, or you have to be able to say things, but it's not like that. Some people are born quieter and some people are born just naturally louder, like me. And so it just depends on how you are. And I feel like there's a quote, and it's, people follow our footsteps much quicker than your advice. So modeling is the key to leadership. It's not really being able to tell things all the time. As long as you are modeling what leadership is, you don't have to be a loud leader.
I know that I have a coach, my softball coach for my school has said since for as long as I can remember, we have to have, everyone can be a leader on this team if you choose to. And I think we've done so well in the past because we all help each other. We all push each other to past our limits, and that's part of being a leader. So our last question is, how do effective leaders respond to change?
I think that they take it head on. So they look at what needs to change and they lay out what everyone needs to do. So you want to make a plan first. So if the leader sees that there's going to be a change, they want to focus on how to not let that change make everyone go crazy, I guess. So if you see that you need to start walking your dog in the morning, as opposed to being upset that you have to wake up earlier, make a plan to go to bed earlier.
Yeah, I like what Nyla's saying, because I feel like with leadership comes the responsibility to be able to take care of a situation. Like right now, we try to speak at the same time, and as leaders, we're able to figure that out. So I think just being able to take change and make it positive instead of making it a negative, and to really just take it, I think everything just needs to be taken in a positive light, and that helps make any situation better.
Yeah, kind of just look at how change can impact the better for not only the leader itself, but also the people around them. So change can be a big thing, or it can be a very small thing that can lead to big impacts and small impacts that, might not be evident right now, but be evident later down the road. So it's always important to embrace it and always look forward to it and how it can improve not only the leader, but those who follow the leader as well.
I think that to add on to what Dylan was saying really quickly is just that I think being a leader, responding to change, also means changing the way you lead, because leadership comes in a lot of different sizes, a lot of different forms, a lot of different shapes, and you have to kind of adapt to that based on the changes that are occurring in our lives and like what's occurring right now. And so for me personally, like I know like I pride myself on my like communication skills. Like I like talking to people, but for other people, like Abby was saying earlier, that's not their main skill. And so you have to be able to find different ways to connect with people one-on-one or indirectly while the situation is changing.
I feel like as a leader, we all have to have some sort of vision for ourselves so that we can just help each other like change into what's coming for the future. And with that, I'll bring it back to Mr. McGeely.
Well, thank you, my friends. Once again, just powerful discussions. Appreciate your wisdom. So here's what we heard. One thing we talked about, the leadership is a choice, and the key is to lead by example. That came out loud and clear. This other piece about inspiring, impacting others, it's really about influencing others, right? Which kind of comes to our third point around modeling. And I think a couple of you said this, really leadership is more about doing rather than telling. So great job, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week, my friends. Thank you so much. Great job.